Hey friends, it's Jessie. Today I wanted to bring you guys a battle video. I was so excited to pick up. I already had Tom Ford Ombre Leather and my bottle is more than halfway gone. I picked up Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum and sprayed it on my hand, walked around Sephora for a bit, and then went back and I was like, I need that in my life. So I got it, and I thought when I was smelling it, I thought, these smell really similar, but a little bit different. And then the more I've worn them, I'm like, these are very different, but still in the same vein. Obviously leathery because they're ombre leather. Okay, so take just 1 second and hit the subscribe button if you like fragrance content. I do top 10 videos, battle videos, single fragrance reviews, all the fun things. I may have some giveaways coming up, so be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you won't miss a single giveaway, surprise, all the things. Christmas is coming. If you hear some construction noise, sorry. My office is kind of a construction site right now. So anyway, sorry about the noise. So let's jump into it. So I'll start off with Tom Ford Ombre Leather, the OG, the original. I picked this up. I was actually at my local Dillard's and picked it up, went in, talked to the sales associate, and she was like, you have to smell this. I smelled a lot of things that day and I thought, I want to buy Tom Ford. I already had Black Orchid, I think. Anyway, but I was just looking for something a little bit different. And she said, if you want to smell like a bougie saddle, this is the fragrance for you. And I smelled it. So I've already sprayed this on my hand. So you can see the like residue on this. These are both pretty oily. They're both long lasting fragrances. I will say that about them. They project really well. So about 6 months ago, a friend came up and was like, smell me, smell me, smell me. What am I wearing? You can guess it. Anyway, I smelled her and I swear she smelled like the nicest, bougiest vanilla ever. And I was like, what are you wearing? Like I guessed 2 or 3 things. And she was like, it's Tom Ford Ombre Leather. And I was like, what? Like that smells so different on me than it smells on you. That's insane. Anyway, Tom Ford Ombre Leather is leathery. The opening is cardamom, but I don't get a ton of cardamom. Just throwing that out there. Like when I think of cardamom, I think of By Killing Intoxicated. Like that's a really heavy cardamom fragrance. I don't get that. It's cardamom, leather, jasmine. I get a little bit of floral, but not much. The leather is very overpowering. And then it dries down to amber, moss, and patchouli, which moss goes really well with leather. Like, love it. This released in 2018. Yeah, 2018. And it's a beautiful Tom Ford fragrance. If you're into leather fragrances, drop me a comment below. Are there other leather fragrances that I need to check out? Let me know because I am here for the leather, especially this time of year. Like, or even on like a summer night. I'm here for it. Okay, so Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum. We move on. This one is nice. They are so different. Like I've had this one for a year or two. I just picked this up maybe a week or 2 ago. Okay, so the top notes are violet leaf and cedar. I love cedar. It's a great note. It's in House of Sillage Holiday or Holidays. I can't ever remember. But that is a strong cedar fragrance that is really sweet. This one's not sweet at all, obviously. It's got jasmine sandback and orris in the mid, and then the dry down is leather, woody notes, and tobacco. So I sprayed this on my hand maybe 10 minutes ago, 5-10 minutes ago. This one is, how can I like, they're different. Okay, so I feel like the violet leaf really shows through on the, it's just a little, has that touch of like green fragrance in it. In the Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum, it's got a greenness to it from that violet leaf in the opening. And it kind of goes away, but it kind of doesn't. Like sometimes top notes will linger longer, and then sometimes fragrances just dry down and go straight to the base. So this is obviously a very heavy leather fragrance. It has that tobacco in the dry down, so it makes it a little bit different. So could you wear these together? Yes. Like they're similar enough that you could wear them together and it would just make like a really interesting leather fragrance, like just something different. They both project, they both last. Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this one probably lasts a little bit longer. Like I've been testing these ever since I got this one. I'm like, okay, what do I think? how are they different? Do they last? Do they project? All of the things. So I would like spray one on one hand, one on the other hand, and then pick one for my like scent of the day and wear it. I got compliments on both of them. It's just a very unique, I mean, I would say that these definitely lean more masculine than feminine. Both of them do. If I had to pick one that leans more feminine, I would say probably the original Ombre Leather. Ombre Leather Parfum is just a little bit more rugged. And I don't know if you've smelled Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. That is even a step further more rugged and masculine. Like when I bought Ombre Leather, I smelled that as well, and I thought that's too much leather for me. Like that is too, I can't do that. Like that is not for me. Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum is a little bit more rugged. It's a little bit, I don't know, grittier kind of, but I don't want to describe a fragrance as gritty, but do you get what I'm saying? Like if you know, you know. Like some fragrances are just, maybe it's more bold. Like the fragrance is just a little bit different and it's more bold. I feel like Tom Ford Ombre Leather, the original, is like a fine wine. Like you kind of have to have a little acquired taste for it, but once you smell it, you're like, dang, that smells so good. Like it's absolutely wonderful. I almost said it was delicious, but it's not delicious. Sorry guys, I'm like getting over something, but it's not delicious. It's like not a gourmand, but the original Tom Ford is just beautiful. And then this one is like, pow. Honestly, if I was a guy, if I was a dude, I'd probably say pick up Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum with the white label. And for females, I would probably say pick up Tom Ford Ombre Leather. It's just a little bit smoother. The original is a little bit smoother. But it is, that is why this is Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum, because it is bold. Like they've got they have come out with several Parfum versions of their original fragrances, and they're all supposed to be more like bold and robust. And so I think that they definitely hit the nail on the head with the Parfum version of Ombre Leather. My balance system, or whatever you want to call it, my battle system is always, if they stopped making one and only made the other, which one would I want them to continue to make forever? Which one do I want in my collection forever? And some of my battle videos, I have a lot of battle videos. Some of my battle videos are very like, easy. Oh yeah, I know. And then some of them I'm like, I don't want to make a choice. Like this is hard. But always for different reasons. With these, the longevity being the same, it makes it a little bit harder for me to choose, because a lot of times I really want a good value for my fragrances. And so I'll say, okay, well, this is $100 and this is $100, but this one lasts longer, so I'm going with this one. You know, like I really want, if one has to have 10 sprays and the other one you can get away with 1 or 2, then obviously the one that needs lesser sprays is going to be the better value, as long as the price point is about the same. Does that make sense? Anyway, let me know how you evaluate your fragrances. Like, if you had to battle out some of your fragrances, like what would your like points of, you know, this versus this and that versus that, like what are your characteristics of the fragrances that you were, you know, kind of use as a measuring stick of which one is better? Do you like sweet fragrances? Do you like longer lasting fragrances? Like what is your measuring stick, I guess is the best way to say that. Okay, so in this battle of the two Tom Fords, Tom Ford Ombre Leather, the OG, versus Tom Ford Ombre Leather Parfum, I'm going to have to go with, it took a week of me wearing both of these fragrances to figure this out. But in this battle, I'm going to go with the OG. I love Tom Ford Ombre Leather. It is a great fragrance. I like both of these fragrances. I've, like I said, layered them together, worn them separately, but I feel like Tom Ford Ombre Leather for a female is just a little bit more refined and a little bit more, I think it's the lavender in here, which also mostly makes fragrances lean masculine. I'll actually be doing a single fragrance review today where I'm shooting a video on a fragrance that is female targeted, but I think is really unisex. So anyway, and it also has lavender in it. That's what made me think about it. But Tom Ford Ombre Leather is just smooth and beautiful, and this is one that I will probably forever have in my collection. I just love Tom Ford Ombre Leather. If you were looking for something different, this This is not going to be floral. This is not going to be sweet. This is not, neither one of these are. This is not going to be, you know, if Armani My Way is your favorite fragrance, you might not like these, but at least give them a smell. And these are fragrances that if you've smelled them before, written them off and said, I am not interested in a leather fragrance, go back, revisit it. I recently did a haul video where I added some new fragrances to my collection. One of them I got a sample of a year or two ago, smelled it and was like, no, not doing it. And then came back, smelled it again, and I was like, I need a full bottle of that. So as always, like, continue to like revisit fragrances. Our noses change, we get older, we mature, things happen, things change. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe, hit that notification bell. Smell you later.